Nobody wins when the family feels.
Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream!
There's squirrels in my pants!
That girl's got some serious squirrels in her pants.
There's squirrels in my pants!
Tell me what's making you jump like that.
Almost 2 weeks since 10-year-old Trinity Esslinger disappeared in the water near the Destin East Pass.
Forward gear is trying to see that. Look at the current. I'm in forward gear, but I'm not going anywhere.
And what all happened. So go ahead and share this. We got a lot to clear up. Of course, it's hard on Raven and Wesley, which is Trinity's parents. But I have some things to clear up for a lot of people who's been guessing what's been going on and what's happening and why this and why that.
I don't really have much to say. I probably shouldn't even be on here, but it's just a lot of things that y'all are saying is really hurting my family.
I felt this in my heart to bring this to you guys' attention, fam. And I know we're a little late, but the mother of the young girl who we'll later talk about have recently spoke up via social media within the last 24 hours. And as my mom would always say, it's better late than never. And as I gather as much information as possible to bring it to you guys' attention, something just don't sit right with me. So I'd rather bring as much information as possible and see what you guys come up with. Now I want to be honest out the gate, today's video is a heavy one. So I need everybody to try to lock in and stay respectful in them comments. Today we talking about a situation that's been going on for almost 2 weeks now. A 10-year-old little girl by the name of Trinity who was out of town with her mom and her mom's new man. They was chilling at the beach, but Trinity got in the water and she ain't been seen since. It's been nothing but bad news ever since. Now since then, her mom and her new boyfriend has been on social media saying their piece, which we'll later check out. But some people just not feeling it, or how this all played out. Now clues has been circulating, even been mentioned in these lives if you pay attention. And on top of that, I have to put an emphasis on this. There was reportedly 2 unidentified dudes seen near the scene when all this went down. And to this day, going on 2 weeks, nobody know who they are or where they at. Could they be connected? Could they have something to do with Trinity's disappearance? Well, that's what we're going to explore today. All while at this point, the state and local agencies have called off the official search. Some brave citizens have decided to step up and keep hope alive. So today, we're going to break it all down, pay our respects to Trinity and her family, and talk about how we can help push this awareness and maybe get some answers. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. During this past Father's Day holiday weekend, June 13th, 2025, on a Thursday, a Jonesboro, Arkansas young couple alongside their kids had decided to take a vacation to Florida. On that Thursday, the young couple had rented out a boat. They ended up in Destin, Florida, which was Okaloosa County. Up until then, the young mom named Raven was documenting her stay via social media. She went to Facebook and quoted, "This Airbnb is so beautiful and equipped with everything for the kids. I'm loving it." The next day on the 12th, Raven had posted, "Move, let me drive the boat," alongside photos and a video of her driving the boat. And some people noticed the kids that was on the back of the boat, with one of them having no life jacket on. Next day, Raven would talk about her traumatizing experience while on that beach. She wrote, "You was just right here, having so much fun. I held you in my arms. I feel like such a failure. I made it to you. I gave it all I could. I just want you to know I tried my hardest, baby girl. I promise. I swallowed so much water, but I kept going. I got you to someone who could swim. I let them take over. I went under thinking they had you. I only came back for you. The current has me too, but I remember not to panic, to just hold my breath and try to float. When they pulled me out the water and I didn't see you, I lost it. I should have went back in. My body just gave out. I tried to move but couldn't. I looked for you. I screamed for you. I still hear you. I'm so sorry, baby girl. I'm so sorry. Now as mentioned, the young girl she was referencing to was her 10-year-old daughter Trinity. And Trinity's biological dad had drove up from Arkansas to Florida. But at this point, the search was underway for Trinity. Now the mom is assuming that Trinity was lost due to the current. But she also mentioned that she got someone that could swim to her daughter. And by the time she looked back, she was gone. Who was that someone? We still don't know. And at this point, people were sending money to try to help. And Raven said in her following post, please don't send money to my Cash App. You can contact my mother if you want to help. I can't deal with this right now. I'm stuck in the moment and everyone's life will go on. I will clear things up when I can breathe. I know so many loved and cared for her. For now, they are still searching. Pray with me, please. I'm only holding on for her, only to bring her home. I don't care for nothing else after that. Thank you for the kind words. I see it all, y'all, are lifting me up. It helps numb the pain for the moment. I'm sorry, Wesley, which is her daughter's biological father. I'm so sorry I couldn't save our baby, but I promise I'm going to bring her home, or I'm not coming. But then she addressed the negative comments in the following posts. To all the ones with the negative shit to say, F you. I pray you never have to experience this pain. I will be there for you. I have so many emotions as it is, and y'all don't even know. My God gonna bring my baby back to me. You just wait and see what he does to your evil spirits. I know my God, and he knows my heart. He knows I would never do anything that hurt my baby. I was the one trying to save her, and can barely swim myself, but I didn't care.
Okay, I see it's working. I don't really have much to say. I probably shouldn't even be on here, but it's just a lot of things that y'all are saying is really hurting my family. I've managed to just not look at it, not care, but I know that there are a lot of people who really care about me, and y'all are out there going hard behind my name, my daughter's name, my family's name, my boyfriend's name, and, you know, I just want to thank y'all for that. My battery is low. I really haven't even been on my phone. I got a lot of messages and missed calls, and I've been trying to look at them, but it's a lot to take in. Like, I know death happens. I know it happens, and it can happen to anyone, but for it to be my flesh, my blood, for it to be my daughter, be someone so close to me, not just a daughter, like a friend, a best friend, everything. I told her, you my fucking lifeline. That shit is hard. And most people get to bring that person home. They get to bring them home, and they get to give them a ceremony and say goodbye. So for my child to still be out there, I don't know where she at. She could just be floating. I don't know shit. Okay? I just know we was on that beach and she was there. One minute she was there, the next minute she was gone. And I ain't never felt fear like that before. Yeah, I done worked in a prison. I done did some crazy shit. I done almost died a few times, but I never felt as much fear as I did in that moment. and to be helpless, to not have no control, for the water to just take my baby. Y'all don't understand what I'm going through. And it's very apparent, because if you did, it wouldn't be so many scenarios, different, like I don't even know what to call it. I can't even find the words. Just insane what y'all are saying. Sick. So I just wanted to clear a few things up. I was there. I almost drowned. My daughter drowned. And this is a search to recover her body so I can bring her back. I have come to terms that my daughter is gone. I have two sisters. I have a stepsister who I never even consider a stepsister. My sister, Janae. And I have a sister on my dad's side, my biological father's side, and her name is Samantha. I don't know who this girl is that done said whatever she said, because again, I have not been on here. I have not paid attention to half the shit that y'all are saying. So, you know, I have paid attention to the ones that have said positive things. It's like 3 seconds. I click on here and I click right off. Because as soon as I click on here, I see Trinity everywhere. And I'm glad that her name is getting out there. I'm glad that people are aware of the situation and that people are looking. But some of the stuff that you guys are saying, it's just beyond me. It's crazy. I don't know what else it was that was said, but I know it was something about a sister. And some people were asking, was she even at the beach? And there was some people saying they felt spirits telling them things. I don't know, but none of that stuff is true. My daughter was right there in front of me. We had an amazing day. I'm telling you, this day was so beautiful. It's like, I don't know what you all believe, or like, you know, if y'all are religious or whatever, but I've always heard that your last day is so beautiful and peaceful, you don't even realize it. And that's how that day was for me. So I thought that was my day. But it wasn't. So I gotta figure things out for myself from here. And I'm not going to be involving myself in this. This is the internet. What's going on with me is real life. It's reality. So I wish all of y'all the best. If you want to update about what's going on, we got law enforcement and locals and just people from everywhere still searching. I don't know.
Now, before Raven had spoke up, her boyfriend had went to Facebook a couple days after the situation and spoke his piece and carried on some guilt. Now, if you guys don't want to check the entirety out and want to get to the conclusion, check the timeline out. But check out what he had to say.
And what all happened? So go ahead and share this. We got a lot to clear up. Of course, it's hard on Raven and Wesley, which is Trinity's parents. But I have some things to clear up for a lot of people who's been guessing what's been going on and what's happening and why this and why that. I'm a first person. I have a first person point of view. I was there, and it was a trip that I planned. So a lot of their responsibility, falls on me as to speaking up for the ones who can't speak up because they're hurt, they're sad. And like we see all the things that's posted online, and as to people asking like why and what happened and where and when, all that stuff, I have all those answers. And if I don't, I answer any of your questions to the best of my knowledge. And but anything that's foul in my comment section is just going to be ignored, because we do have those people. For the most part, most of the community, they're supportive and everything. The people out there in Florida, the people here in Arkansas, everybody is really, really supportive. But we have those bad apples. But I'm gonna try to keep up with the comments. Let me see if I can even turn it on. Okay, now I can see any comments when they do come up. But I'm gonna give y'all like a timeline of everything. All right, guys. And I actually been doing a whole lot of driving. I got to Jonesboro last night to get ready and take my kids to Texarkana to be with their mom. So I actually just got back from driving to Texarkana, and this is gonna be very fast because I got to get back to Florida. Like, as soon as this is over, I'm going straight back to Florida. I got some notes right here that I'm going to try to follow. But yeah, once again, this thing is for clarity, for a lot of your questions. And also make sure you guys are praying for the family. Trin have cousins. Of course, her dad, mom, uncles, grandma and grandpa, great grandma, like a big family. All right, guys, and yeah, it's been tough on me. I just found out Trin's favorite song, and as I've been doing all this driving, I've been playing that song over and over. So I'm gonna ask you guys out of solidarity to go and listen and download that song and just play it over. That song is Yolanda Adams. Immediately came running and fighting through that water, and she's not the strongest swimmer, but she was the first one to get to us. And as I said, I was pushing Trin up in a way to where I can conserve my energy to not, because I didn't know how long it was going to take for help to arrive. But when I saw her mom, I figured her mom was, I was pushing enough to where we were. I figured I was pushing enough to where we gotten back close to the shallows. So when I saw her mom, I figured her mom was, walking. And so I gave her a real big push when I saw her mom. Wasn't worried about conserving no more energy anymore. I gave her a real big push, and she actually flew past her mom. And her mom had to go get her. And immediately after I gave that big push, there was this boat that came, and I was at the front of the boat, and I saw that they grabbed my son from floating. They grabbed him out and pulled him up on the back of the boat. And I saw like this little hook to hold on to. So I was swimming to that hook, and one of the people on the boat came, and he was like, "You need help?" I was like, "No, just go get them." And so I just grabbed that hook and just held on to the hook. But when the boat stopped, it was spinning, and then actually spent me the opposite way from seeing what was going on the other side of the boat. And so from right now, I got to give a point of view from Raven's point of view, and from like I seen like the paddle boat lady comments. And so yeah, as I was holding on to the hook, a lady on the paddleboard paddled out. And remember I said Raven was she had trend, but I thought she was on sand, and I thought she was walking, so I thought everything was good. But Raven told me later that she actually wasn't walking, she was doggy paddling also. And so basically where I left off, she took over, and I wasn't aware that what was going on. For one, I thought she was walking and sand, and for two, I was holding on to the boat, and the boat was spinning in the opposite, spinning me away from what was going on. But those two guys that was on the boat, at first I thought they came from the beach, but from the paddleboard lady perspective, the two guys that were on the boat, they were the ones that got into the water and they grabbed Trent. Well, Raven pushed Trent to them, and they had her. And from Raven's perspective, she said, you know, I pushed Trent to him, and they had her, and there was no more struggling. Trent was, you know, we were good, you know, everything was good. And I'm guessing that the two guys thought Raven couldn't swim also, as much as Trent couldn't swim. So there was a moment right there where, not to speculate, but from perspectives, they also tried to save Raven. And from them trying to save Raven, that's when Trent slipped away. And still, I don't know what's going on. And finally, that boat spin all the way around to where I can see. And what I see is the paddleboard girl made it to Raven, and Raven was on the paddleboard. And I asked Raven, I said, where's Trent? And she said, I don't know. And so there were, like, again, two guys that were on the boat. And Raven, she explained to me later that she that there was a skinny guy and there was a big guy. I actually saw when they were pulling my son on the boat that there was a skinny guy and there was a big guy. So I can say that the two guys that jumped off the boat were the same guys that pulled my son up. But the skinnier one, he was like an older teenager with hair maybe about six inches long. The bigger guy was like just an older man. Not older, he was probably like in his high 30s, with a little buzz cut. I remember that much. But she did say the skinny one, which I perceived to be the teenager. He immediately, when he saw Trent slip away, he immediately tried to go after her. And from Raven's account, he was, you know, coming up, going back down, coming up, going back down. And at the time that was happening, the bigger guy was taking the boat to the shore. And this was as soon as I asked Raven where was Trent, the boat got into motion, and couldn't let go because, you know, you can get caught up under them propellers and all that stuff. But so that's what happened. and that's how she was lost. And the paddleboard lady brought Raven to the shore. And after that, that's when it was all, everything was happening so fast. It seemed like immediately there were Coast Guard and lifeguard right there searching for Trin. Like, everything was going so fast. And me and Raven, we were separated, but there were police officers from different departments coming out saying, trying to get an understanding of what's going on. So we're answering different departments as they come out in different shifts. You know, you got the Coast Guard, got to know what's going on, the local sheriff department, the local police department. I don't know if game wardens or anything was out there, but, you know, all of them have to come and get a report. And so at first, early on in the night, me and Raven was like a little separated. Well, I do know that I did go to her to get Wesley's number so I can hurry up and call him and let him know, because she was on the phone with her mom and also talking with the officer, and I was talking with the officer. So I needed to make sure Wesley knew what was going on before, you know, things get on the internet and just spread, and then he find out that way. That would have been terrible. But yeah, so in the midst of all of that, we're answering police officers. And then, so about, at the time this all happened, the sun was still out. It wasn't sunset time yet. But by the time, like the third or fourth police department come out, me and Raven were closer by each other, like physically closer by each other. And that was when the first time I heard of the two guys, which later I presumed to be the two guys that were on the boat. But like when I was holding on to that boat, I thought it was just, you know, I didn't see the two guys in the water, but from everybody's perspective, that's when Raven told the officer, she said, I was pushing her up, and then I saw the two guys, so I pushed Trin to the two guys, and she slipped away. That's when I first heard about the two guys in the water. Let me get back to the notes. But yeah, we do want to know who the two guys are that was on that boat. So if anybody know any locals down that way, I know you guys been following the story pretty closely. If you know them, message one of us. We just want to get to know them, see who they were. And then after that, we stuck around for a long time, and up to the point where the Coast Guard was like, it got to a point where they could do all that they could do this night because it was so dark. They ran their radar scans and their thermal scans, and so and visibility was gone because the sun had set from how long we were out there. And so we went back to the hotel, to the Airbnb. And remember, this was our last night, our final night. And so I do have to give some thank yous out. The next morning we woke up early, and I called the owner of the Airbnb. And I had to leave a voicemail explaining what had happened. And he texted me back, and so I had to call him again. And he said he's gonna check his books to see if anybody booked their Airbnb, so to see if we could stay. But he called back again and said somebody got their Airbnb, y'all can stay up until 12. And he said I'm gonna pay for a 2-night stay at the hotel for you guys. And so Brian DeGormo, that's his name. So huge thank you to Brian for providing that room and board for us. He paid for it out of his pocket. He actually had to do it twice because the he booked through Expedia, $540, and then like they took the money, they accepted they confirmed it. He sent us the confirmation, but when we was driving there, Raven moms were asking for the location of the hotel, so I sent her the link, and she clicked on the link and it said cancel. So I had to call Brian again and let him know that some way it got canceled. He was like, no, it didn't get canceled. They got my money. I'm looking at my bank account right now. So he actually had to pay twice. So when we made it to the hotel, we called him again, and he paid right there on the spot again. And later on, he did let me know that first transaction got reversed, but still he paid for that room. Big shout out to Dreamer also. That's Raven's friend. That is the one that made the GoFundMe, guys. And I do have to explain the GoFundMe a little bit. Raven, she's a person, she really don't ask for handouts. It was very hard for her to say yes to receiving anything. Her and Dreamer, which is her friend again, had a talk, and she finally went ahead and agreed and to make that GoFundMe, because a lot of locals and a lot of people here in Arkansas was asking what can they do to help. And besides actually being there to actually recover Trinity, the only way we could ask for help was, financially, to make sure Raven can be there for as long as she can until Trin is found. And so, yeah, Dreamer made the GoFundMe. A lot of people, it's just a lot of negative people out here. Well, let me take that back. It's a lot of kind-hearted and loving and hopeful people out there, but there are a few negative people out there, and they were questioning the GoFundMe as if, someone trying to scam or anything, or, it's not that. And also, a lot of people know how GoFundMe work. You give towards a goal that GoFundMe set, and when you come close to meeting that goal, like 95% of the goal, GoFundMe will automatically raise the goal to the next tier. And so the goal started at only like 2,000, and everybody just kept giving. Like I said, there's a lot of kind-hearted people out there, and people who are actually concerned and praying and standing with Raven and Wesley. And so the goal kept raising, because it's people giving 500. There were a lot of people gave 500. There were people gave 200 and 300 and hundreds. And then even the smaller amounts, the 10s, the 25s and 15s, y'all got that goal that GoFundMe set. Like I said, they raise it every time you get in a certain percentage of that goal. So when you get to 95% of that money collected, they raise the goal again, because it's a fundraiser, and the purpose of fundraisers is to get as much as you could. And now, with the amount of money that's secured, it's not, we have to think like there's expenses that's gonna go along with it. It's not just, of course it don't take that much money for Airbnb stay to be there, right? We know that, but there's gonna have to be plans for afterwards when Trin is found. And then also when or if the Coast Guard, and when they're exhausted, they exhausted all of their things that they can do. They got the helicopters running and all that stuff. Like, if and when, we're gonna hope that it is not a if and when. We're gonna hope that they find her today. We're hoping she's recovered now. We're praying she's recovered now. But, you know, you got to have it in your mind. If it doesn't go that way, there has to be like a private firm hired to come in and find and search. And also, the family, they want to get on the water themselves and go and search. And so what you guys are donating is going to be, is not only used for room and board and food and traveling back and forth from Jonesboro to Destin, but you also like stuff like the jet ski and boat rentals that I'm actually about to go down there now. Like I said, I have to drive back, and when I make it, that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm getting on the jet ski. I'm going out there, and Raven's brothers and Wesley, his brother, mom, like they're all out there. And a way you guys can help is all my people down there that vacation to Destin or you're a local, get in your boats and your jet skis, your kayaks, and go to all the shores and the beaches and the docks and the bridges and look around. And so that's the mission. That's one of the missions of the family now. We're about to go out there and also search ourselves. And now one of the parts I said I was going to get back to, and this is the closing of this live, because like I said, I got to drive back and I'm about to get on this road. I'm actually 15 minutes late from being on the road. Where I failed, you know, I said during this vacation while we were at the other different beaches and stuff and jetties and all of that, my son, he know how to swim a little bit, and I've been teaching him how to swim. Well, while we was there, I was teaching him how to float, and he was a truck about to pass again, so where I go with. But yeah, I was teaching my son how to float, and I asked Trinity, did she want to learn how to float? And instead of me demanding that she learn how to float, because hey, you're enjoying this water, it's some stuff you need to learn that could, you know, really help in some cases. Instead of me demanding, you know, that she learn how to float, I asked, she turned it down, and I left it alone. So that's one of the areas that I messed up at. And the other one, this is the last thing on my notes. When I was out there washing my hair with the sand out my hair, and when I realized that I was in a current, I messed up from the way that I gave them directions. Instead of saying it with a sense of warning and urgency, or trying to ring in their minds that, hey, we need to follow him exactly to the T. Instead of saying, hey guys, look, do not take your feet off the ground. Do not try to swim. I need you guys to stay still and listen to me closely. You know, instead of saying it like that, I just said, I realized I was in the current. I just said, hey, we need to walk back to the beach. I said it that way, and it didn't register in their mind that if they didn't exactly walk, that if they lifted their feet up off the ground, that something tragic would happen. It wasn't in their mind. But that is my live, and again, I don't know if you guys did comment, but I don't see any. So I was on the wrong thing, so I do see the comments. But they're coming in, but I can't even answer it now because I didn't see them while I was going, and it's time for me to go. But hopefully that cleared things up for you guys. And that's everything that happened. And maybe one day you guys will see the beautiful videos. We was having a great time. They got to see dolphins for the first time, and we was just having a great time. So that'll be on Raven and Wesley on how they're feeling about, posting after this tragedy. And so and also thank you guys for all the comments and the messages and stuff. We're not being slow to get on and respond, but there's just so many coming in, and also there's some negativity online, so we're attempting to keep the parents offline. So we see everything, and even the people that's in the comments taking up, like I said, it's a few bad actors out there. So shout out to all the people who are taking up for us, for Raven and Wesley online, because they're at the point, if they try to do that, they'll be on here for days, for weeks, for months, arguing with ignorant people, if you get what I'm saying. So it's not worth their time, but some of you guys have time, and we appreciate you guys for that. I even see it in the comments now. Some of you are, yeah. Well, yeah, we thank y'all. We thank y'all. And of course, Raven, thank you guys. I've been telling her of all the love and prayers you guys been telling me to get to her, and I've been getting it to her. But that is it. I'm gonna end this live, and that way the people who didn't join at the right time, they can watch it from the beginning. And yeah, I'll see you guys.
Now, I know that was a lot, and it was heartfelt. But something I want to point out is the two men who was yet to be identified that was there, who I'm assuming the mom was referencing to as the person who could swim to get her baby. And as we look for Trinity, and I will put up more pictures and give a brief description, it's imperative we find those two unidentified males as well, because they may know more than even what the parents know, or the mom and her new boyfriend rather. The fact, because we truly don't know if she was really lost in the water, or was she abducted? I would like to tell you guys what she had on the last time she was seen. According to some pictures, she was wearing a pink bathing suit with orange trimming. Her hair was cornrowed straight back with colorful beads. She had on snorkeling gear and goggles that were gray and purple. The snorkel was gray with a bright orange piece at the top. She had on two sketchy bracelets. One was pink and the other was purple. She's about 5 feet tall. And as we head out of here, we want to say once again, we send 11 prayers to their family way. We praying that Trinity gets returned home and her family get closure. As more develop, I keep you guys updated. But this was the story of a young couple who took their kids on a local vacation. And unfortunately, all but one have returned after a boat ride. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And till then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.